For more, we can go across to France 24's Nick Holdsworth, standing by in Moscow. Nick, how does Navalny's team know these bottles of water contain Novichok?
Well, they claim that as soon as they heard that Navalny had fallen ill, and presumably that was when that plane was diverted from Tomsk to Omsk en route to Moscow, they went to the hotel. They say that they realised that he must have fallen ill from something more serious than just an upset tummy. They went to the hotel with a lawyer, went to his room, found it hadn't been cleaned yet, and picked up anything they thought might have contained traces of a substance that could have been used to poison him. Now, remember that Novichok, which the German authorities say was used to poison Navalny, he's been treated in Berlin after all, was used against a former KGB double agent in the UK 2 years ago in Salisbury when Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia were poisoned. So clearly the team, they haven't said this, but clearly the team had a feeling something awry had happened, and they wanted to get evidence. Now, it's interesting that in the Instagram post, there's video of them searching the room, and there's some text with that video. And they say that they went there in the knowledge that they should hand this material over to the Germans as soon as possible, knowing that it wouldn't be investigated in Russia. It's a little bit odd, because at that time they surely couldn't have known, A, that Navalny would survive, and B, that he'd be going to Berlin. So there are, in some ways, more questions raised in this by answers, but certainly it's a fresh development which is only going to make things even more complicated than they are in this case already.
They are very complicated indeed, and as you rightly said, there are more questions than answers. Given that, has the Kremlin reacted at all?
No Kremlin response so far. Obviously, there's been a lot of response from Moscow so far in this case. They are likely to stick to the line that they've been using so far, that they demand the German authorities share with them the information from their investigation. The Germans, for their part, are saying, well, you have access to the same samples, tissue samples, etc., that we do. The Russians have insisted that they found no trace of Novichok in Navalny during the 2 days that their doctors were examining him and treating him in Omsk. The Foreign Secretary, Sergei Lavrov, a couple of days ago was due in Berlin. He didn't go. That's part of this. He's also insisting that if the Russian pilot hadn't made an emergency landing in Omsk, and if the Russian doctors hadn't treated Navalny, he probably wouldn't have survived. That's not being recognised by the West. So I don't see any shift in the Russian position as a result of this Instagram posting by Navalny supporters.
Nick, thank you very much for that. Nick Holdsworth reporting there from Moscow.